a warm welcome to RSPB Loch Leven, and on behalf of the Scottish Raptor Study Groups, Birders Against Wildlife Crime, as well as RSPB Scotland, you're most welcome here. I felt it's important to come and show solidarity for the great cause this is, and also remember that across many parts of all 4 countries of the UK there are people meeting this weekend to do the same as you. You're all part of a big movement that wants the conservation of our raptors, and particularly our hen harriers, put on a much more sustainable and long-term footing.
And I've seen the big change that's happened on driven grouse moors, the intensification that occurs now. The mobility of the gamekeepers, which they never used to have in the early 90s, that means that they can get to any part of the hill. So now hen harriers can't even find a little corner of some estate where they can breed successfully. Now they're accessible to a gamekeeper anywhere where they attempt to go. And the impact is now, here we are in 2016, where this year I only know of 1 breeding pair of hen harriers on any grouse moor in Scotland. Now there might be 1 or 2 others, but that was just 1 pair, and even that one failed. But elsewhere, hen harriers are still breeding in other habitats and producing young, but the population is declining under this onslaught. Now for me, this is totally unacceptable, and if we don't do something about it, if we don't change the way things are happening, the only way you'll be able to see a hen harrier in future, the only way your children will be able to see a hen harrier in future, the only way your grandchildren will be able to see a hen harrier in future is by going to a museum.
What do we do about this? It's very difficult to catch the individuals that are committing these crimes. Sometimes we get lucky, and what we hope we've managed to do over the years is to make that person who's thinking about killing a bird of prey just think, am I actually being watched? Making them look over their shoulder, making them perhaps think twice about it. But there's still, as we know, a hardcore who are still willing to shoot, to poison, to put illegal traps out, to stamp on nests. So what really needs to happen is that the whole legislative background governing the management of our uplands needs to change. Now in Scotland, and the UK as a whole to be fair, we have one of the least regulated regimes governing sport shooting in any country in Europe. It is essentially self-regulated. But it's clear, if you look at the 20-year review of raptor persecution, self-regulation has utterly failed. And that's why RSPB Scotland stands very firmly behind the Scottish Raptor Study Group in supporting a petition for the licensing of game bird shooting.
Now, I'm not for 1 minute going to defend raptor persecution, not at all, but I do believe that if it's to stop, then we, as a tribe, as a community, we need to get cannier. We need to more effectively harness our anger and get under the skin, find out the motivations of those people that kill and exploit both raptors and other wildlife.
You people will understand, of course, how persecuted hen harriers are. They are the most threatened birds in the UK, and I've now had a lifetime of hoping against hope that this situation will improve, not only for hen harriers but for golden eagles, for peregrines as well, all of which are routinely taken out on grouse moors, not all grouse moors but on many grouse moors. And I think that is an absolute disgrace. Donald Dewar called it a national disgrace 20 years ago, and it still goes on to this day.
So the reason we're trying to do what we're doing is the Scottish Government have taken lots of action to try and stop killing of raptors. They've introduced vicarious liability. They've actually trained public officials to have extra knowledge and expertise to take prosecutions forward. There's been 2 poison amnesties, and the Scottish Government are very supportive in trying to stop bird of prey killing, but it keeps going on and on and on. And we're hoping that the licensing, as we're proposing, will be another step forward to stopping the reduction of birds of prey in terms of the illegal killing. But if that doesn't work, sadly, the final step will be to ban driven grouse from shooting in Scotland. And I think that will be a very sad day indeed, because hundreds of rural jobs depend on grouse shooting, and it would be a shame to see these people unemployed and out of work. But if the grouse industry can't stop what they're doing, that is the inevitable consequence of their actions. So thanks for your presence today, thanks for your interest, and thanks for signing the petition. Thank you.